I've never really been one for role-playing in MMOs. With Star Citizen though, some make-believe, for want of a better word, could go a long way into adding depth to my experience. When it comes to gameplay in Star Citizen's Alpha, there is often a lot to be desired. Developing physics-based and physical realism takes time. What we get when a Tier 0 gameplay mechanic enters the latest release has sometimes resulted in little more than a briefly tested feature from the players, as opposed to a gameplay loop those players can get their teeth into. This isn't always the case, and certainly wasn't when mining was first introduced, which has turned into the largest playable loop, involving explorational searching, scanning, and the mining of rocks, along with a simple refining process offering a choice of yield quality and wait times, and then furthermore, transportation of those refined goods to a destination for sale. This is solid alpha gameplay that players enjoy for hours in a session and come back for more. Unfortunately, for the time being, the verse is sparse, but not so much maybe if I were to roleplay. You see, there is a lot of time saving that can be done in Star Citizen with a long press of the backspace button on the keyboard, sending a player back to their spawn ready to start over, which is often faster than, well, playing the game. One day this won't be an option, and players generally wouldn't want it to be either, as Star Citizen will have all the gameplay loops it needs to keep a player entertained. As refueling enters 3.17 within the next few weeks, I could imagine the backspace button might be a bit more tempting than ever, as players find themselves stranded with an empty tank and a lot of space dust out there in the black. The number of players available to come to aid may be very limited unless Cloud Imperium, and I think that maybe they should, include a Starfarer in every player's account for the use of that refueling gameplay, until there are a few more ships or players, think server meshing, included on our servers. Role-playing, however, is a fine means to use what the verse has to offer, foregoing any easier and more efficient options, and instead immersing oneself within the vision of what Star Citizen is and will become. There have been a number of players, content creators in particular, who've played a game of zero to hero, starting with nothing and working their way up to bigger things, usually wealth and ships. I think there is a lot of enjoyment with this, and I someday, when I crawl out from obscurity, might get the opportunity to roleplay with fellow citizens in this early alpha and play the game with a feeling of realism, so that when I find myself out of fuel, have a ship with damaged engines that can't fly out of the atmosphere, or I'm otherwise stranded with injuries, a team of role players come to our aid and enjoy the experience. One day in the future, Star Citizen will be far less a vision and instead a reality. When my idea of role-playing becomes that reality, then there are very enjoyable times ahead. Take it easy, citizens. Just maybe not always the easy route.
One all team!